story. Oh, I can see a little hand. Welcome. Give me a wave if you've never been to Werribee Open Range Zoo. You've got no idea what's happening or where I'm taking you. A few newcomer elephants. There's 9 Asian elephants, for those of you that don't know, that will be moving to Werribee Zoo in the new year. And we're building them a home that is the size of all of Melbourne Zoo itself. So a huge upgrade for our elephants. Something we're very excited about. So if you're a zoo member, keep your ears to the ground about that sanctuary opening up. We're thinking January 2025. If you're not a zoo member, you might think about becoming a zoo member so you come a little bit more often. Okay, we've got our visiting space that are very good at living in dry, arid habitats. So camels are probably the most famous animal for living in the desert. They've got that hump on their back. Our camels are what we call dromedary camels, and that means they have a single hump on their back full of, any guesses what a camel's hump is? Anything much, I should say. And this other animal here, very well adapted to living in very, very dry, arid habitats. They're from the Sahara Desert. So think about the Sahara Desert right at the top of Africa, very, very dry, hot, arid place. They're our first antelope species for the day. It's scimitar oryx. And it looks like they've had a little bit of
antelopes
popped out for them. A lot of the animals that we'll see on the trail with lots of leaves on it, put some browse in their habitat for them to be a little bit interested in people like that, maybe get something different out of their food. There's one very famous browser that we'll see a little bit later on though. You've got to be pretty tall to be able to browse the leaves of the trees. That might be. Okay, let's keep on moving. Okay, we're going to drive through Pond 3 right now. Doesn't that sound glamorous? Pond 3. It's one of 3 hippopotamus ponds that we're driving through. Now, I believe our hippos are all the way down in Pond 1 this afternoon. And as we go past, you'll be able to see lots of people looking out over into the water. So I wonder if our hippos will be in the water today, or maybe up sunbaking. We've got 3 hippos. We've got Primrose and her 2 daughters, Lotus and Tulip. I would say they'd be soaking up as much sun as they can on a nice day like today, and then maybe this afternoon they'll hop into the hippo pond for a bit of a hop around. Yes, when we go past on the left-hand side, you'll be able to see them actually. They're right up the back of this space. So they might have had a little bit of hay popped out for them, and they're having something to eat, a little bit of lunch. Can you see them there out to the left? Greedy hippos. So all girls, a mother and 2 daughters. Alright, we're heading into our waterhole area now. And see the scimitar horned oryx and antelope national park. As we curl around the trees, they're hiding in the trees, showing us why they're marked subject to camouflage so well. Are Nyala from southern See them there? We're kind of looking slightly into the sun, but you'll see they've got these beautiful white stripes right down their side. And this is often the case with antelope. They'll try and look the same right across their species. And it often has to do with camouflage, if they be camouflaging into their habitat. So it's no surprise that the Nyala often grass or in the trees or bushes. Sometimes go on safari and we don't see them at all. That's because they're a little bit elusive and quite shy. As we come around, you'll be able to see the tops of our hippos right there. So make sure to go on our trail, our African River Trail, if you'd like to see some more of our African species. Our hippos and our African wild dogs and our lions. And this is our waterhole. wherever we've got a body of water, we're going to see a lot of native bird life, and we've had a lot of native birds here recently. And I think today we've just been talking amongst us that we have a pelican. We don't often see a pelican in the waterhole. And another antelope species just around the corner here. We're going to go past Indian antelope or Indian blackbuck, might hear them called. One of the smallest species in the world. Indian antelope, but they're actually the fastest. So they can run maybe about 90 kilometers an hour. Quite similar. As well as this very beautiful, that dark long horns. That is the dominant male of the group.
Yeah, you can get horns, eh?
The way that they like to live, to stay nice and safe on the field, like safety numbers are very big to antelope. Okay, let's head down a little bit of a hill. We're going to go right over the Werribee River.
Yeah, I know.
And head towards our savannah. And that's where we're going to spend most of our time on safari.
Bells are useless, it is Sinclair. I know. Fair enough.
Okay, so let's head over the Werribee, and when we get to the other side, we will find ourselves on Warralong country. So I really like the view up the left-hand side of the bus. And we have a lot of native animals living in this part of the river. There's something green in the river there. What is that? Something's been floating down there. Usually it's looking a little bit more clean. We actually, it's so clean this part of the river that we have a platypus living in there. We have swamp wallabies. This time of year we start to see reptiles again as well. We might sometimes see a tiger snake slithering across the road even. So this is a big open space. It's a shared habitat, so we have lots of different species living together, and our animals have a lot of choice and control over how they spend their day here. So let's have a look at the left-hand side. What we're going to do, well actually I've got someone waiting for me on the road. We've got an ostrich on the road. I was going to say let's take a trip around this top road and then we'll head down. But we might have to get past an ostrich first. So this is one of our male ostriches here, and they have been very interested on this top road recently. They've been coming up. I think there's something going on in the grass up here. I think they've been enjoying foraging in the grass up on this top road. But have a look at the left-hand side too, as we're going past. See those giraffes from far away. So we're going to get nice and close to these animals, but I always say, really look at what they look like in a landscape, what they look like from far away. Oh, at this ostrich. See how it's got big eyes on the side of its head? Very similar to a lot of herbivores. Big eyes on the side of your head.
Scars.
She's got fantastic.
That way. Birdie. Look that way.
Right around you. Very handy when you're a herbivore. You need to be on the lookout for lions or the and then think about the cheetah, where a cheetah's eyes right at the front of their face. So they have very good overlapping vision, and that means that they have fantastic depth perception, so they can see how far away their predators are. So often if you're looking at an animal and you think, I wonder if they're a herbivore or a carnivore, I would recommend having a look at where their eyes are set. If they're set on the side of their head, they're probably a herbivore or a prey species that needs to be moving around all the time. Alright, let's go for this drive along this top road now. Going down a nice steep hill. Don't worry, I'll be nice and slow, careful, and then we'll get a bit closer.
We'll find out, okay? Maybe they'll take a yes.
Oh, look, what's that?
Look, who's going down again? Yes. We're going down. All very nicely.
What's wrong? What's wrong?
Okay, so I think we spotted some of
Here,
our
Scarlett.
giraffe way in. I have a slight inkling where our rhinoceros might be. I think they might be hiding from us. I think we'll have to do a full lap around to see where they are. And I can see our zebras off in the distance too. So let's head up and see what our giraffe are up to. The first thing I notice is that our giraffe are sitting down. And that is something giraffes only do when they're feeling very, very relaxed and chilled out. And I think that might have a lot to do with the weather. Giraffes feel really relaxed in this kind of weather, we think, because they use their senses to stay safe. So they use their sense of hearing and their smell and their sight to be able to sense when there's danger around. And even though these giraffes down here, they don't have any lions or any leopards maybe hanging around. They do have lions here at the zoo, so there's lions maybe about 500 metres away. They can probably smell them, they can hear them. And so they need the weather to be perfect to be able to know exactly where those lions are. And when we have a really bad storm or it's really wet and windy, they feel like they can't use their hearing or their sight so well. So sometimes they won't sit down. They'll only sit down when they're feeling really comfortable and really safe. Because it takes them so long to stand back up again. So they're quite slow standing back up. And so they need to know that they've got that kind of buffer zone to just not death. Alright, let's curl around. We've got a big foothold just here that we're going through, so I'm going to go nice and slowly. The 3 giraffe, we've got 7 giraffes here at the zoo. And the 3 giraffes that we can see are our newest additions. So they haven't been born here at the zoo, they're all boys. All of our giraffe are boys, in fact. And these 3 giraffes at the front are 2 and 3 years old. So we've got David and Wayo on the left. They're only 2 years old. And then Jessie, oh there we go, David's hopping up, you can see how slow it is to hop up. And then Jessie on the right hand side, he's 3 years old. So they came to us last October. And the reason why they came to us is because we're a male holding facility for giraffes. So any giraffe in Australia breeds because they're already really well represented genetically by other relatives. And often coming into werrbie food because we will house male giraffe that won't breed, and that makes lots of space in other zoos across Australia for regional breeding. So we're kind of contributing to a breeding program by having all of these boys here. So Wayo and David and Jessie came to us last year. And then who have we got there? We've got AJ just behind them. AJ is a mature giraffe. So fully grown, so they kind of merge and all together. And in a moment when we go right over the other side, we see Harold, Aman and Giovanni. Let's come over the hill here. This is just over the crest of this hill. We have some scimitar oryx. These are all of our male scimitar horned oryx here that have been born at the zoo. So we've got quite an extensive breeding program for our oryx. And then behind them we've got some very relaxed looking zebras. So you can see a lot of them are having activities. The weather is perfect. Like if you're a zebra and the weather is like this, you really want to lay down and have a big sleep. But they can't really all do it at once because what if one of those lions comes? I don't know that they have anything out. So they always make sure that there's still a few that are standing up, very still and standing in different directions, listening, looking, smelling all the time, so the others can have a big long relax. And then right here we're about to drive, we've got 3 on one side and then the rest of the herd on the other. We're just about to drive to our herd of eland, another antelope species from southern Africa. And elands are actually the largest antelope in the world. So as we go past, because they're so close, you go and get a really good sense of their size. Have a look at those horns when we go past. So this is an example of a antelope that will stay and defend against their predator. They won't run away, so they can jump very high. In fact, the eland is the reason why our fences are so high. For our rhinos or our giraffes or our eland. Some of our safari guides and keepers say that they think an eland maybe jump on top of one of these safari buses. I don't think we'll ever see it, to be honest. They've got to have a reason for jumping up here, but it gives you a sense of just how agile they are and strong. So in Africa, they live in big herds, maybe up to 400 of them together. So they're a very good example of a migratory animal. As our zebras, living in a big herd, you can't really stay in the same space for your whole life because all of the grass will run out, all of the water will run out. So you need to travel and walk to find some resources. Rainfall and then the grass growing afterwards as well. Now, still haven't seen our rhinos, have we? But I know where they are now. They have been hanging out in their wallows. It means that they're a little bit out of view from most of the savannah until we drive past them in a second and we'll be really close. It looks like our other 3 giraffes, Harold up the front, Aman in the middle and Giovanni up the back. It looks like they're really interested in this peninsula here. I don't know what they are doing there. They do like to just have a bit of an explore with their mouth. Why do babies put things in their mouth? It's to explore. Well, giraffe and both the same. They probably stick their tongue out into things because they're trying to figure something out. And they've been doing a little bit of work over there on that fence line recently, so I think that might be what our giraffe are doing. They're investigating. Okay, our rhinos have been having about a 2-hour sleep. See? And then standing up next to her is her best friend, Latava. Everyone's here with their best friend today. Cece and Latava are best friends. kind of mood they're in. They do have their tail curled up, but they're very slow on their feet. Sometimes when they get very fast on their feet and agile, that's a sign that maybe they want a little bit of space. But I think they actually just want to get to the other side of the bus. So, we're going to let down there is Marte. Marte is Cece's mother. And she is, she's more of an elderly rhinoceros. And rhinos have terrible eyesight. They've got very poor eyesight. But she's got quite poor eyesight. Sometimes the others will move away, and because she can't necessarily see them, she doesn't always pick up that they're gone. So instead, they've got fantastic sense of smell, and she'll smell where the other two have gone, and she'll kind of follow them over there. So I think that's what she's doing. It's very interesting that they're in that wallow. It's a relatively dry wallow at the moment. Now they went to down here with a bit more mud in it, but it is a sign that they're feeling that warmer weather and they might be ready to start having a bit of a wallow in the mud. They'll wallow in the mud anyway, drinking water to coat themselves and condition their skin, but they'll do it kind of like how we have a cold shower. They'll just dip in and out very quickly.